This is the Pele report for March 19th of 2025. Happy Equinox! Yes, indeed, the sun is going into Aries tomorrow. Maybe by the time you hear this report, we will have begun a new astrological year. That chart now that you see at the beginning of the report coming up here is good for the whole year. A lot of astrologers just look at the equinox chart to make predictions for what's going on in the coming year. So I may be talking about that a little bit. But in addition to that, today the sun is conjunct Neptune at that 29th degree of Pisces. And Neptune is going to be following and going into Aries, himself in not too long, a couple of weeks. And then that sun's going to move on into Aries, sextile Pluto on Sunday, conjunct Mercury on Monday, and conjunct Venus on Saturday. I mean, we've got a little, now it's a little bit of an Aries party going on here. Oh my goodness, this cluster, they call it a stellium of planets. It's just a huge focus of energy in one area of your chart. Look and see where late Pisces, early Aries is in your chart. And that's where the action is going on. If you know your chart, know the houses, and know astrology a little bit. The moon is now in Scorpio, but it's going to be in Sagittarius in no time. And we're going to have that third quarter square moon on Saturday at 2 degrees 5 minutes of Capricorn. I am going to read to you the Sabian symbol for that baby. Very apropos. And then, of course, she'll move on into Aquarius by Monday. Conjunct, let's not forget Capricorn. While she goes through Capricorn, she's going to what? Square the sun, square Mercury, square Venus. It's going to be, and that's the square moon is actually square Mercury and Venus too. This is all on Saturday. Sun conjunct Venus, square the moon. Big thing happening. Last but not least, if you did look at that chart or paused on it, or you want to go back to it, you can notice that there's something very powerful. It's the moon up there in Sag at 6 degrees is what they call sesquiquadrate to Mars down there in Cancer, and sesquiquadrate to Chiron over there in Aries. It's a 135 degree aspect. It's a tense aspect. And I'll talk maybe a little bit about that because what? Mars is square Chiron, Cancer to Aries. So, I'm going to get down that hill and talk at you. Okay. Hello. Hola. Aloha. Come to Hawaii. There are still some spots left for doubles. No more singles. Sorry about that. But hope to see you out there for the celebration of life, the celebration of Saturn conjunct Neptune, square Jupiter, the celebration of the solstice. We want to celebrate life and celebrate the good, the bad, and the ugly, but it's life, and this is an amazing time to be alive. It is a good day to be alive. Even amidst all the chaos and all the corruption and all of the disasters and all the mosquitoes. Woo, baby. Yeah. So let's dive into this a little further. How about that mantra? We're talking intense here. And it's really a lot to do with, today. Sun conjunct Neptune. Neptune at the very last anorectic degree of Pisces, the 29th, basically the 30th degree of Pisces. It's there from March 4th to March 31st, this whole month, okay? And then it goes into Aries for a little while, comes back in October to that same 29th degree, October, November, December, it sits there, stations into January, into next year, goes direct. So this last degree of the entire circle of the zodiac. Wow. It's the grand finale. It's the grand finish. And Saturn will be joining Neptune. Okay, and this is just like such a powerful, period in the course of human history. The north node of the moon just went through that 29th degree. I call it the last chance degree, but it is a culmination. And there is this point, and this is what I want to get to, about the mantra today, and for this week, and actually for the rest of the month. This last degree is just a point of surrender. It's a point of surrender. We only can control so much. We can only have so much. This is free will versus fate. Yeah? My impression, my feeling is we have about 80% is fate. We have about 20% free will. So yes, we can make some conscious choices, but beneath, underlying, like the iceberg, our unconscious soul spirit has a program for this life. That's how you can see it in the chart. That's how we do readings. I have some readings available coming up, actually. Yeah, if you want a reading, we get deeply into, what the soul intended for this lifetime. And the ego can cooperate with it. It can resist it. It can speed it up, slow it down, try to turn it left, try to turn it right. But at some point, there are forces beyond our control. And this can give us this sense of helplessness. And I think of very many metaphors. I grew up in Chicago. I remember I had a pickup truck, and it's got the engine in the front with a front wheel drive, right? And I'm in the snow. So that, don't get a pickup truck with two-wheel drive in the snow. Oh my God, right? So I'm a teenager, brand new truck. Ooh yeah, And what happens, right? The rear end just goes swinging around, fishtailing left and right. And I go off the road and just like, and when you skid, even in rain, you can do this. You don't need snow. Hydroplaning. You ever get to that point where you lose control? It's too late. You are helpless. You can do nothing. You have set the truck in motion. In some cases, like cliff jumping or cliff diving, which is another great one, right? You jump off and then it's just life, the will of your unconscious, God, spirit, source, great spirit, whatever you want to call it, you're in motion. And I ran over a stop sign one time, right? It's just kind of like, oh, here I go. There's nothing I'm going to do. You slam on the brake. Doesn't make any difference. Oh, and that feeling. It's a very interesting feeling. Because people pay for that feeling. When you get on a roller coaster, you are out of control. Right? Or, you go to Disneyland or, Six Flags or whatever you got, whatever, and there's that log roll, right? Where, you just go and you are just like going down and splash right into the water. I mean, there is this feeling of exhilaration that can accompany this just absolute letting go. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I just surrender. I accept, I allow whatever will be, and wow. There can also be great fear, because the other aspect of this helplessness, and it's particularly with Saturn, and we're going to read about consequences. Okay, even in the Sabian symbol for today, which is up there in Sagittarius, Saturn is consequences. And it's gone around for 28 years now. And Pisces is the great return. It's the great, okay, here's what you created, reflect on it, look at it, learn from it, but you're not going to change the past. You are here. And this place of losing control. We can get this place of losing control in many different ways. Most intimately, in our most intimate relationships. We cannot control another person. We cannot even really control a relationship. I've often felt that love has a mind of its own. Love visits us and leaves us. Love comes and love goes. I mean, it's like you are almost at the mercy of love. Whether love comes to you or doesn't come to you there's many factors at work in our relationships. But if somebody's going to leave you or they stop loving you, we cannot make somebody love us. Right? I mean, you can try, and it might work for, a short period of time, but in the long run. So there is this helplessness in our relationships. A lot of people have a helplessness now, with Trump in the White House, of job security, economic security, financial security. This is another thing. It comes and it goes. Sometimes we can control it. Obviously, if you're an entrepreneur and you're running your own business, but even then, my aunt had a little souvenir shop in Boston, and she would just sit behind the counter and hope that people would come in the door and buy her souvenirs. I knew a guy at a bookshop in Berkeley. He went broke. Just like we had all these books. But are people going to walk in and visit you? An astrologer. Are people going to come to you for a reading? I mean, there are so many things we cannot control, and it can bring in a tremendous amount of fear and anxiety. And this can lead to feelings of being a martyr, of being a victim, of, I am out of control, I'm at your mercy, I'm at this mercy, that mercy, the other mercy. It's like, ay. We are at the mercy of so many, and I like to say that they are unconscious soul forces. Yeah? And that the outside's a mirror of the inside. The macrocosm mirrors the microcosm. So it's, it is not accidental. Which brings me to the Sabian symbol for today. It's amazing. These are not mosquitoes. These are little bugs that fly right into my eye. I cannot control these bugs. But I will kill them. I am not a Buddhist. Okay. The third degree of Capricorn, 2 degrees, 5 minutes is the third degree of Capricorn. A human soul, in its eagerness for new experience, seeks embodiment. The keynote is a powerful yearning for whatever will increase the scope and depth of one's contacts with other living beings, except flies. One wonders what the clairvoyant saw and said to the recorder of this symbol. How did she visualize a human soul? Or, as the recorder, Mark Edmund Jones, he's the astrologer that recorded what Elsie Wheeler, the psychic, saw on the blank card. Receptive to growth and understanding. So Dane Rudyard changed it to, in its eagerness for new experiences. The original recording, okay, was receptive to growth and understanding. What is implied in the position of this symbol seems to be the strong drive in every human consciousness or will toward new experiences, and this is in italics, whether they are constructive or destructive. We may grow and gain understanding and wisdom through both types. Yet the yearning needs to be tempered by an instinctive evaluation of the end results of the experience. We don't know what the end result is going to be, so it has to just be kind of a instinctive evaluation. What I think is going to happen if I jump off this cliff on South Point. This is the third phase of the 55th fivefold process. It shows us what is behind all uses of power, anabolic or catabolic. A strong, in capital letters, desire to prove oneself. And I mean, I love Dane Rudyard. I like some of that, but it's not always a desire to prove oneself. As you can see in the symbol, it is a desire for deeper and greater understanding. It is a desire for new experiences. And that can be very experimental, very scientific. It is a desire for evolution. Not always necessarily to prove oneself, in my humble opinion. But now, I think, since the moon is still in Scorpio, I want to talk about the taboo. Because Scorpio rules the taboo, and the moon is in Scorpio. And I think, and this is the first time ever that I have used the G word in a mantra. Did it trigger you? Yeah. This is one of the things that, it's just kind of taboo. We don't talk about Trump. We don't talk about God. We don't talk about sex. We don't talk about this, that, and da. It's got too much weight, yeah? Too much history, too much feeling, beliefs, illusions, disappointments, lies, deceptions. You name it. Whoa. Especially through 6,500 years of patriarchy, right? We've got Yahweh, right? Yeah, we've got, Allah, Jesus, Great Spirit. The list goes on. Quetzalcoatl, you name it, Zeus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, yeah, Odin. But these things go on and on and on and on. And now we have, numerous female, goddesses that are, really being brought in. Kali and Kuan Yin, and there's just like the Magdalene mysteries and so much of the feminine coming up. But so this God has a context, not a context, but just there's a lot of judgments and a lot of energy around the word. So I want to explain what I'm talking about because I'm very interested in God. I usually say Great Spirit. It's got way less of a charge around it, or Mother Earth, Father Sky. But there's a couple of different things here. Number one is that we're moving, of course, into the quantum field. And which is, moving into the field, which is all that is. As Bashar said, all that is all that is. There is nothing outside of all that is. It is the law of one, where everything is part of everything else. It's beyond left brain comprehension, but it has wisdom in it. Nature is self-correcting. There is a food chain. And, if you wipe out the predators, like here in Costa Rica, they've pretty much wiped out a lot of the anteaters. And now the ants, especially the cutter ants, okay, are, wiping out, right? Massive plant, many things that are planted. The ant population has, so you can see this. Any biologist, any, environmentalist knows, and we can see moving towards the extinction event, right? You cut down so many trees in the Amazon and you don't have photosynthesis, and then you run out of oxygen. There's all kinds of, things going on here. So it's an interesting thing that I'm looking into also is this other belief of that creator or source, like the Big Bang, set everything in motion. And everything in motion is now running like a computer program. It's like, so, you take this option, just like a flow chart. Okay, you take this option, it's going to lead to this, and it's just going down. Okay, something. So it's, there is no, like divine intervention or, external God or source out there looking down on us, and blessing us or giving us grace or saving us or and, people that are praying are actually praying to, the void. This is another, right? This is another way of looking at creator. That creator just went boop, right? And you're off. You're on your own, kids. Do whatever you want. You're not going to destroy creation. You're not going to destroy, you can build Atlantis. We'll wipe it out. You can, Lemuria. You can go through Earth incarnations, and there's galaxies upon galaxies upon galaxies. There's universes. The metaverse is multiple universes. We cannot fathom the extent, okay, of God. So, and I think I'm even going to make it a capital G, just to really like rub it in a little bit, Not a capital G. A little G is okay, we can handle Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and all the gods and goddesses, but a capital G, oh my God. But yeah. So whether you call it God or whatever, the field or creator or Allah, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, there is a collective wisdom. Mother Nature has wisdom. And there is a self-correcting. This is karma. This is consequences. This is Saturn. And moving through Pisces here. Right? And so we see that the sign of Pisces has so much to do with surrender, allowing, accepting. And what does that do? It brings relief. Just like I say in the mantra. Once you just let go and say, you know what, boom. I've steered as much as I can. I've pumped the brake as much as I can. I'm not, once I jump off the cliff, all I can do maybe is like move my feet around or something. But really, this is going to go the way it's going to go. We're at that point, folks. It's the point of no return, right? It's like we are beyond redemption, correction. No, there's wheels in motion, okay, of a destined effect. So everything now is taking on mythological proportions. It's like we are living in a myth, okay? And if you think of Greek mythology, it's just like, Aphrodite would come, Zeus would come, Poseidon would come, and there would be these magical interventions. But really, we can see that there are many wheels in motion now that, so what we do now is adapt. Pisces is a mutable sign, right? The North Node is in Pisces until July of next year, right? So this is, our evolutionary path or way forward now is about mutating, adapting, surrendering, accepting, and this can be terror and fear. This also, Neptune, Pisces, 12th house rules paranoia, neurosis, suicide, escapism, addiction. There's all the downside of this. The upside of this is the mystical revelation through meditation, where the crown chakra opens, and there is this calm that descends upon the yogi or the yogini that is just in this place of being one with what is, not hoping, not projecting, not wanting or desiring, but in this place of pure experience. It's just pure. And this Virgo Pisces axis that these eclipses are happening on. We have an eclipse coming next week in the next Pele report. Yeah, I'll talk about this eclipse happening in the sign of Aries, not Pisces. So this time, it's not going to last forever. In some ways, we could really, celebrate and rejoice. This grand finale of energy that is just, talk about a display. The other word I love for Pisces and Neptune is wonder. Just the wonder of it all. The wonder of it all. Whether it is a beautiful waterfall, a loving relationship, a breakup or an accident, okay, that appears as some kind of disaster, but then metamorphoses over into a new beginning, a new life, a new identity, a new future. Gotta love astrology, man. There is no end. It just goes these cycles upon cycles upon cycles. Ow! After 29 degrees Pisces, there's 0 degrees Aries. Boom! Let's start all over again. Yeah! Sun coming up to conjunct retrograde Mercury, retrograde Venus. You realize, and maybe I'll use the beginning. At the beginning, I'll do the solar system scope, or maybe at the end. Yeah, I'll show you the planetary lineup. This is just a basic lineup, right? Of Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Sun, all straight in a line. And if you keep going straight back there, Neptune and Saturn are not far off, right? There's this lineup happening of these planets now that is just like, whoa, baby. So get in line and pay attention. Salute God and jump. The Fool card. The Fool just la da 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 whoop off the cliff into a new experience. We're going to evolve. We're going to become wise. We're going to gain in understanding. Hopefully we gain in compassion and sympathy all along the way, whether we succeed or whether we fail. Right? I mean, whether we have, great successes or, multiple disasters. Chiron teaches us this. All right, I'm going to go just a tad bit over. I liked all the comments last week, people going, yeah, nice and short. Okay, I'll try to keep it short. But just like for the year, for the year, I could do a whole separate video on this. Maybe I will. But Moon, sesquiquadrate Mars, sesquiquadrate Chiron, Mars square Chiron. I mean, to me, this is the sesquiquadrate is basically it's a bit of a crisis point in the cycle of things. Yes, whether it is 135 or what is it, 235 or something, because it has to do with it follows the trine, which is a peak 120. 15 degrees later, okay, you have it's a multiple of 45, right? It is a turning point where you've gone about as far as you can go. You've gotten as big as you can get, and it's time for you to get put in your place. The hand of God. I'm sorry, you are expanding no further. Boom. Yeah. So settle down, Buster. Get ready for the quincunx at 150. But it's very often a crisis aspect. And so when we see it with Mars in Cancer to the Moon, I mean, this is so much to do with the isolationism that's going on right now. All these tariffs, the trade wars happening, and countries, hunkering down to look after themselves, and even people like hunkering, like retreating. Mars in Cancer. I want to be safe. I want to be secure. I want to look after my own. Right? I mean, this is very, yeah. So this can be very challenging, and of course, Sag has to do with migration and immigration, okay, and people, this is, closing down borders. Now I understand, like, you can hardly get a passport to get out of the U.S. I mean, there's lines. It's been like put on hold, So there can be this kind of, there can be crunches around travel, around immigration, okay, around, like people and governments and countries and even states of the union, just like really, isolating themselves, rather than, out of fear, right? Feeling helpless. Whoa, it's too much. Pisces is overwhelmed, right? It's over. I need to slow the flow, slow down that waterfall, man. I'm drowning, right? Yeah, so that is the challenge. And of course, the retrograde Mercury and the retrograde Venus, looks at reversals, and things really, shifting and turning around. This is a year of great surprises, to have these eclipses happening, right near the equinox. It's yeah. So this is a time to fasten your seatbelt and just look at it as a roller coaster ride. Try to play with it, have fun with it. Try to go with no hands. Ah, look, Mom, no hands. That's Mars in Cancer. Oh my goodness. So this week's song, the long and winding road, bum, bum, that leads to your door. I'd like it to be like, the St. Peter's Gate into heaven or something. Think of the long and winding road not so much as a love song that somebody is singing to their lover, but as a song that you are singing to Creator, that you're singing to Source. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't leave me waiting here. Lead me to your door. Yeah, it's a classic. I know it's old. I'm getting old myself, so who cares, man? It is what it is. It's a good song. I like it. And I'm going to say goodbye, sign off. Namaste. Aloha. So much love. I was in such a hurry to get off, I didn't even read the freaking mantra, man. Ow! The fear of absolute helplessness is frightening beyond belief. Resigning myself to the will of God is all I can do for relief. May you relieve yourself. Just surrender. Okay, here we are, and let's look at this lineup. Holy jeez. We've got Earth, Venus, Mercury, Sun, Saturn, Neptune, all in a row. And if we come up to the eclipse, we'll just move that Earth around here a little bit, right? See the moon going around? Go back a little bit. All right, then you've got the moon lined up. So this will be the eclipse. The moon, with the moon there, we won't be able to see Venus, Mercury, or the Sun, or Saturn. Okay, right? And of course, you never see Neptune. So, yeah, but that's the scoop. Love this program. Oh, baby.